welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to propagate peperomia watermelon. If you're not familiar with this plant, it looks like this. You can see why it gets its name. It has this pattern on the leaf that looks like the outside of a watermelon. It's very simple to propagate this. You basically just take the leaf and propagate right from the leaf, but I'll show you in a few moments how to do that. I also just want to mention that I'm making this video in collaboration with a fellow YouTuber. Her name is Sam Green Sly Fox, and I'll link all of her information in the description box below. She's also making a propagating video, so once you watch my video, be sure to check her out. Her content's really good, and she has a lot of great information on her channel. All right, so let's get into the video. Alright guys, so the first step to propagating your peperomia watermelon is you want to select a leaf that you want to propagate. You want to make sure that the leaf is healthy, that it has no bruising or wilting, because that will give you a better chance of having a successful propagation. And with this leaf, you could probably get about 2 to 3 cuttings from it, and you'll notice that along the leaf, you'll see the veins that run through it, and that is where your roots are going to grow. So to make it simple, I'm just gonna get 2 cuttings out of this, and I'm just gonna cut along here because I'll have the maximum amount of roots that will be forming from this cutting. And I just take my sterile knife to do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my leaf in half. All right, so I have my 2 cuttings right here. And the next step that I'm going to take is going to involve my rooting powder. This is the type of rooting powder that I use. I'm sure other brands would also work fine, but I just pour a little bit on my board and I'll show you what I do from there. So now I'm just going to take my cuttings, and where I made my cut, I'm going to just run it along the rooting powder. That will help stimulate roots to grow. And it should just stick on its own because it would be kind of moist on the inside of the leaf where you just made your cut. So you can see that my rooting powder did stick because it would be a little bit wet from being sliced in half. All right, so now I'll do the other leaf. Okay, and this is my second cutting, and the rooting powder has been applied to it. So for the next step, you're just going to take some regular potting mix that I just moistened slightly with a spray bottle, and this is where you're going to pop your cuttings inside. So I'm just going to make a well with my spoon so it easily goes inside of the dirt. And where you made your cut, you're just going to put that right into the soil and kind of move the dirt so it will stay up straight. So you can see my cuttings are now in the soil, and the spot on the leaf where I made my cut is inside of the dirt, and that will help the plant search for water and produce roots. And then all you're gonna do is take a Ziploc bag, and you're going to place your plant in the bag. And you're going to zip it slightly, like almost to the end. I leave a little bit of an air hole. And the reason you do this is because it will help the environment stay very humid. And humidity really helps when you're propagating your plants. And I usually would write the date. I'm actually reusing this bag. I did my other cuttings in November, but it's good to write the date on the bag just so you have an idea of how long it took you to produce those roots. And then when I'm going to water my cuttings, all I do is take a spray bottle and just spray over the top of the cuttings. And then I just take the bag and zip it up almost to the end. And like I said, leave a little air hole so that it does get some oxygen. And I did just want to show you quickly, these are the cuttings that I produced in November. It was November 22nd. And you can see there are roots hanging from this peperomia. The area where I made the cutting, where I cut off the stem, see there are roots growing from the inside of the cutting. So that's kind of interesting that they didn't actually grow from where I cut it on this one. They grew from where the stem was. And in that case, when I repot this, I'll put this whole area that has roots into the dirt, and not put this into the dirt at this end, because there's already roots right here. So I'm just gonna do an experiment and see if the plant will grow from these roots. I think it'll work exactly the same. This was not the area where the stem was attached, so the roots just grew from where the veins are running down the leaf. Alright guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them down below. I'd love to answer any of your questions. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, my username is JujuSucculents. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, be sure to also check out Sam's channel, and all of her information is linked in my description box. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye!